I'm James. Welcome to video 30 on our series on how to use the RadioBOSS automation software. We have covered so much over these 30 or so videos, but there are still many important functions and features in RadioBOSS that we haven't had time to cover. So I thought in this video we'd entitle it Useful Options, and that we would look at 6 functions that you will find very handy when you use RadioBOSS at your station. We'll look at how to change the language, how to set some of the restart options, set closing safeguards so that your announcers cannot accidentally turn off RadioBOSS while it's on air. We'll look at how to set up the double click function. We'll set the on-air visualization and how to set playlist auto scroll. A very handy function indeed. Without further ado, let's now go to the RadioBOSS screen and look at the first function, which is changing language. RadioBOSS is used in many countries, and many of the people of those countries have translated the commands and screen labels of RadioBOSS into their own language. Come with me to the View menu, Language, and here are the languages that RadioBOSS has already been translated into. For today, let's choose something completely different, Arabic. Now when you change the language, I suggest you close RadioBOSS and restart, and here are all of the screen commands in Arabic, even in the settings menu. I do not understand a single word. Now I need to find my way back to the View menu. 1, 2, 3, Language, and back to English, close, and restart. But I hear you ask, I looked on that list, James, and RadioBOSS is not yet in my language. That is a question for you to speak to your station manager or your supervisor about, because it could be possible for you to actually write the translation for RadioBOSS into your language. Something for another day. The next function we want to look at is setting the restart options. You see, what happens if the computer crashes or there's a power cut? Let's go into the settings menu and stay in General, the top one. 1, 2, 3. This, I think you need to tick. Restart the program if it crashes or hangs. So if the computer stops working or crashes, then when the computer restarts, RadioBOSS will go back to where it was. In this case, we have to restart to apply the settings. Okay. If you come with me into the top right-hand corner, this little red X button, very dangerous, it is the close button. You do not want an announcer accidentally hitting that while they are live on the radio. So here is a safeguard in the settings menu, again under General. Come down 1, 2, 3, 4. Ask on close. Click that. OK. I click on that, it says, are you sure you want to close? No, of course I don't want to close. So that is a good safeguard against announcers accidentally closing RadioBOSS live on air. Now that's something you don't want. I have traveled to different countries and I've seen many people using RadioBOSS, and I noticed that a lot of people use the double click function using the mouse on the RadioBOSS playlist. So if they want to play a song, they simply double click on it to play it. I don't like that, because I believe that an announcer needs to be thinking about their program, what they are saying, what they're doing. So if they're holding the script in one hand, then they really need to be doing just a single keyboard shortcut to start the song with the other. So keyboard shortcuts, I think, are better than the double-click function. Okay, so if we use the keyboard shortcuts, what do we do with the double-click? Come with me, I'll show you some options. Again, the settings menu, down to the bottom this time to controls. As you can see here, mouse double-click function in the playlist. So what do you want the double-click to do? They give you the choice. This option here is do nothing at all. Or double-click to play the song. Or, now this is handy, pre-listen to a track. I think I might choose this. And OK. So let's pre-listen to Mini Ripperton. So I'm going to double-click. And up came the pre-listen player. So double-click to pre-listen, that would be my choice, but in your station, totally up to you. Another function in RadioBOSS, which could be handy, is what they call on-air visualization. Instead of trying to explain it, let me show you. Come with me to the screen. Let's start the song again. Now I am going to use the wheel of my mouse because it acts as like a middle click. You've got left click, right click, but the mouse wheel is also a middle click. You can click on it with your finger. What happens if I come up to the green playing bar at the top and I click on it with the middle click? Here I can see the audio wave, so I can see which parts of the song are going to be quieter and which parts are going to be louder. If I click one more time, I can see the volume bars. Click one more time, and nothing. I can hear you ask now. You're asking, James, the mouse that we have does not have a wheel. It does not have a middle button. What can we do? Come with me. Under the settings menu and view, at the bottom you see here on-air visualization, and you can choose those two functions if you would like to have them. Just be aware that if you are going to use on-air visualization, that it will actually use up some of the power of your computer, which means that's taking away some of the processing power from playing live on the radio. So if you have a slightly older computer, just be aware of that. It could affect your playback. Okay, now watch this. Go back to the playlist screen. I'm playing Nancy Wilson here. I'm going to jump to the next song, which is Peggy Lee. I'm going to jump to the next song. And I'm going to jump to the next song. And I don't even know what the song is because the cursor has disappeared off my playlist screen. So how can I fix that? Well, there's a little feature here that you will find very helpful. Come with me again to the View menu. And you see this function here, Playlist Auto Scroll. This one here, second from the bottom, above Language. Click on that. So now, watch what happens this time.
You must remember this.
And if I go to the last item in the playlist, it will always jump up to the middle of the screen. So whatever song is playing will always be in the middle of your screen so that you can see the songs that have played before and the songs that are about to play.
Love me, love me.
So 6 useful functions in RadioBOSS. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you find these useful. And I'll catch you again as we look at more RadioBOSS functions in our next video. I'll spot you then.